Hello, everybody. I hope you're all doing fantastic. Welcome back to Apollo Trilogy, Spirit of Justice. So last time we had quite the eventful day of investigating, falling down a big funny cave, getting lost in that big funny cave. Apollo nearly drowned to death, and then directly after Phoenix Wright said, "Now we fight." So, yeah, we gotta fight Phoenix Wright. He is our prosecutor. It's defense attorney via defense attorney for like I don't know what you would call it. There's probably a legal term. They might even say it. But yeah, defense v defense. Who will win? Obviously, Apollo will win. Or maybe not. Maybe it'll come to a tie or something. But I'm guessing we'll probably win. And Phoenix is he's probably excited, honestly. Because Apollo proved himself earlier in the game, and now he's got to really prove himself. So, we'll see where that goes. Of course, we have a DLC case as well. I doubt we're going to beat this case today. I'm sure it's fairly long, since it's the final one of the game, other than, the DLC one, which is, not connected. Most likely. Maybe it is connected, I don't know. I don't know yet. The last few DLC ones weren't connected. Alright, let's fucking go. Just so you know, I'm not gonna take sides. Message received, loud and clear. Good, because I don't like this one bit. You and Daddy should be on the same team. Sorry, Trucy. Oh, she's really mad.
I'm sorry too, little lady. This is all my fault.
I'm just worried things will never be the same between Daddy and Apollo. If they go through with this.
Is that all? Well, I wouldn't worry about that. That's the way it is with us men. We may fight, but we don't burn bridges.
Really?
Sure, 1 minute we're trading blows, and the next we're having drinks together. We're civil creatures at heart.
I sure hope you're right.
I think he is right. I mean, it's Phoenix and Apollo. I mean, come on, they're not gonna form a rift. They're bros. Especially after the last game, and half of this one.
Sorry I'm late, Apollo.
Athena, there you are. What happened with you and Mr. Wright yesterday?
Oh, about that. I ended up going to the wrong airport.
Oh.
I was waiting there thinking his flight was really late, and before I knew it, I dozed off. By the time I woke up, it was already dark.
Yeah, I figured something like that had happened. Being late and dozing off are the two things you do best. Guilty as charged. So then, I take it you have no idea what today's case is about?
Not a clue. Sorry.
What is today's case about, if I might ask?
Another locked room mystery? A suspect with a flimsy alibi? Ooh, or a dying message? Oh, those are my favorite.
Sorry, strike 3, you're out. It's a civil case. Oh, there you go, civil case. A civil case? You act like I'm speaking Swahili here.
It's just the Right Anything Agency specializes in criminal law, or so I thought. In civil cases, there are no prosecutors, right? Instead, both parties retain an attorney.
Right, and the other attorney is someone you know very well. Time for the heavyweight bout you've been waiting for. Apollo Justice v. Phoenix Wright.
Who will win? Who will win?
Really? Who?
The trial will begin shortly. Please proceed to the courtroom at once.
Okay, let's do this. Is Phoenix gonna have Maya? Please, if Phoenix has Maya as well, that's gonna be so fucking cool. Phoenix and Maya v. Athena and Apollo.
Apollo, wait. Who's the other attorney? And where's Mr. Wright?
No time to explain. Let's go. I've got a feeling he'll show up. Somewhere.
Okay, right behind you.
Yeah, I got a weird feeling about Mr. Wright, Athena. You know, he appears sometimes. Strangely. Here we go. Court is now in session. Well, there's Phoenix. Can't see if he's got Maya with him.
Court is now in session.
No, Maya's not here. Aww.
Is this some sort of practice session? A mock trial, perhaps?
No, it's not, Your Honor. It's the real deal, Your Honor.
So then you two have had a falling out. I won't have you using my courtroom for that, you know.
It's nothing like that, Your Honor. Exactly. It just so happens that we have different clients in this case.
I see. Well, here's hoping this has no adverse effect on your working relationship.
You can say that again? I had no idea we were going to go up against the boss today. You sure this is a good idea, Apollo?
What? You want to switch sides?
Honestly, I'd rather be anywhere but here right now.
Well, at least she is here. I'm really gonna need her help.
Mr. Justice? Yes? Don't expect me to pull any punches just because you're the opposing lawyer. As I said, the kid gloves are off. And come what may, they'll stay off. Same here, Mr. Wright. If it's a fight you want, it's a fight you'll get. They should have given him Maya. They should have given him Maya. Why doesn't he have Maya? That would have been perfect. Yeesh, you guys are really chomping at the bit, aren't you?
I don't mind a good fight between co-workers. Just keep this civil case civil. Now then, if the plaintiff would take the stand, we may begin.
Right, left, halt! Noble judge, members of the gallery, good day to you. I am politician. This is but a start of my epic campaign, and you all have the honor of witnessing it. I believe the youth of this country are our very future. Too long have they been looked down on and given the cold shoulder. So to them I say, ask not what you can do for your country, ask what you can do for me.
Mr. Addition, what's that crazy contraption you're riding in?
It's my custom-made, election-winning campaign mobile. Beautiful, isn't it?
No, rather ugly. You're at a witness stand, not a campaign podium. Out of there this instant.
Feh. He has a name tag? He's got a nameplate?
All right, now with the plaintiff's attorney, Mr. Wright. Please explain the complaint filed against the defendant.
Mr. Attishan's complaint against the defendant is simple. The defendant, one Dirk Sadmati, stole my client's family heirloom, the crystal of Amy Faye. Mr. Attishan merely seeks its return. This wouldn't have happened if that archaeologist hadn't kicked the bucket.
I see. Well, Mr. Justice, let's hear your opening statement, if you would.
The defense asserts the item in question is the Founder's Orb, a sacred relic from Kirin.
Okay, go on.
It seems someone asked an archaeologist, Dr. Archie Buff, to study the orb. Dr. Buff determined that it was Kirinese. It was a Kirinese national treasure known as the Founder's Orb. The very orb that was stolen from a treasure room in Kirin several weeks ago. You starting to understand the Persona glaze? Are you enjoying it so far then? They did do that, but he's still holding firm. No, the claim, Laser, is that the treasure... The treasure that they have is, like, a different one. Phoenix Wright is assuming that... or no. They think that the ball we have, which is the National Treasure of Kyuden, is actually the Crystal of Amy Faye. And we're insinuating that it's the National Treasure of Kyuden and not Amy Faye's crystal. Where are you up to now? Probably not too far in. Maybe at the first palace.
Why, yes, I saw a news report about that. The theft of Kyunmi's national treasure caused quite a bit of uproar in the kingdom.
Well, we believe that it was not, in fact, a theft in the traditional sense, but rather that it was spirited out of Kyuden by someone for Dr. Buff to study. The castle place? Nice. They're all called palaces. I guess you'll learn that soon.
You don't say. And?
Around that time, an acquaintance of the defendant learned of Dr. Buff. He made contact with the doctor, who agreed to hand over the orb. Apparently, the doctor wanted nothing to do with it once he'd learned it had been stolen. You wish you could watch his playthrough? Foolproofs are mine. Because I didn't stream Persona 5. I could have. I bought it while we were streaming, and I just didn't play it on stream because I didn't know I would like it. In hindsight, I definitely should have streamed it, but... Oh well.
It seems you even have a transfer agreement between both parties.
Mr. Sedmati also agreed to return the Founder's Orb to the Kingdom of Kyuden. Once the doctor verified it was the real thing.
I see. So this dispute centers on whether the item in question is the Founder's Orb or the Crystal of Amy Faye. That, in turn, will determine the object's rightful owner.
Better bring my A game. Going up against Mr. Wright won't be a walk in the park. Gosh, I'm finding it hard to read today. Huh. When am I not? Am I right? Did I put water in my fridge? I don't think I did, because I'm a fool. I'm a fool! I'm a fool!
Come to think of it, the name Dirk St. Mari sounds awfully familiar. But I can't recall where I've heard it.
Oh, it's probably your imagination, Your Honor. He's just a tourist, after all.
My imagination, you say?
Are you sure about this, Apollo? He's a wanted criminal in Kyuden, isn't he?
In Kyuden, yes. Here, he's just a tourist. It'd be funny if you brought that up.
Very well, let's begin the proceedings. Bailiff, would you bring out the first witness?
You know, in between streams, I had lunch. I don't know why, but today I feel still hungry. I had a sandwich and some little, I guess they called like cocktail weenies, the little red ones. Very nice. But then I was told that I'm gonna have homemade butter chicken pie for dinner, and oh man, I'm looking forward to that. That is gonna be mwah. I can't wait. Oh, hello. Why do we always start at the feet? Oh, Emma. All right. Time zones. You guys probably already eaten dinner. It's like full-on evening over there. Emma?
Show some manners. We're in court.
I know. It's just... This is a civil trial, so I was surprised to see a detective take the stand. Now, I had her do some digging on Dr. Buff.
What for? You disappoint me, Apollo. First, you know I'm not just a detective. I'm a forensic scientist. Do try to remember that. Second, you owe Mr. Wright an apology. After all he's done for you, you have some nerve.
First, I'm sorry. And second, I'm really just trying to do my job.
You'll never get anywhere with that attitude. Take some advice from someone who's been here.
Why do I feel like I'm on trial here?
Detective Sky, your testimony if you please. Stop battering the defense. You can have your little flirty conversations outside.
The doctor's dark secret.
The police have had their eyes on Dr. Buff for some time. And just today, a number of stolen artifacts were discovered in his study.
Oh, they were stolen, eh? Interesting, okay. So he was a little naughty doctor. He was a naughty little guy. Well, to be fair, those are like, curing, you know, ancient fucking statues that were definitely not supposed to be there. And the gravy painting from the, you know, when Pearl had her little gravy boat fiasco.
Among them were a priceless urn and a statue that were stolen from the Fae clan. It seems the Doctor would do anything to study artifacts, including steal them. As for the relic at the center of this dispute, he likely stole it from the Attition residence.
Doctor is a thief?
Why am I just hearing about this now? Well, cat burglar isn't something he'd put on his resume. He was more careful about it than that. The fact is, he was a classic treasure hunter. A treasure hunter. Like people who have their thrilling adventures in exotic places, risking life and limb for glory.
I doubt Dr. Buff was the star of his own hit movie series, Athena. Out of respect for the dead, I will say that Dr. Buff wasn't doing it to get rich. Apparently, he only wanted to borrow artifacts to study them. He would then return them as soon as his research was finished.
According to the Doctor's child, he would even repair or restore some of the artifacts he stole before returning them. He believed he was honoring the dead by discovering their history through artifacts.
In the next game from the past, we might see Amy Faye. No, I think it's way too far back for that. Or maybe, I don't know. Or maybe. I mean, we probably will see a variation of the Faye clan. But Amy? She wasn't that far back, was she? Isn't Amy their grandma? Or maybe I'm misremembering that. Maybe it's way further back than that. Great-grandma? Great-great-grandma? Great-great-great? I don't know how many greats it would take to get back to Great Ace Attorney. I guess we'll find out.
But whatever lofty ideals he held, it makes no difference. Larceny is larceny.
Yes, he certainly sounds no different from a regular thief to me. You know how regular thieves be, stealing money, polishing it up, adding a few extra bucks of their own and returning it. That's classic thievery.
So, let's say for a moment that the Doctor really did moonlight in stealing artifacts. Might he not have stolen Founder's Orb in Cunin and brought it back here for himself? Nope, there's no record of him traveling overseas over the past few years. Plus, he couldn't very well leave his reclusive child at home all alone.
Then this really must be the crystal of Amy Faye.
Yes. He stole it from the Attition residence, probably so he could study it. This is the left hook I did not need.
Bet you never saw that coming, Apollo.
Yeah, when Mr. Wright said the kid gloves were off, he wasn't kidding.
Mr. Justice, you may proceed with your cross-examination.
Well, Phoenix is also a defense in this case. Can he cross-examine? Can he cross my examine? Can he cross-examine? Can he cross my cross-examine? Can he cross the cross-examine before the cross-examines him? Can we cross-examine him before he cross-examines Cross? Cross Alexander Hamilton? I don't know. Priceless urn and a statue that were stolen from the Fae Clan.
Hold it!
Were any other stolen artifacts found besides those belonging to the Faes? Yeah, for instance... Remember the large relief on the wall? It was chiseled out of some ancient ruins in the Kingdom of Kirin several years ago. Chiseled out? Didn't that damage it? Well, he did restore the parts that were so faded you could barely see them anymore. It seems he intended to return it someday. So one could say his intentions were good. Didn't that just, like, completely blow Phoenix out of the water in one sentence? He chiseled it out of the wall in Kirin, and your argument was that he's never gone to Kirin? Hello? Add that to the testimony, please. If I might add, with respect for the deceased, the quality of the restoration was apparently exceptional. It seems the doctor invested a lot of money in hiring an extremely talented specialist. Sounds like a good man who took a wrong turn somewhere. I guess Sarge takes after him in that way. You know, I know it's probably hard for him, but he could have done that, like, legally. He could have been, like, a artifact restorist or something. Like, an artifact science, I don't know, something. He could have been an official version of whatever he was. Oh, yeah, no, I think P3R could have ran on Switch easily. No, I 100% believe that. I just think they just couldn't be bothered, and they probably already have Switch 2 dev kits. You know, it is, Sega, so... They most likely already have Switch 2 dev kits and are just making it for that instead. It's probably gonna be, if I had to guess, of the Atlas RPGs that aren't on Switch yet, which I think is not very many, I think P3R and Metaphor might be day one, or at least within the first few months. Maybe like day one we'll get Metaphor, and then we'll get P3R like a month later or something. I don't know. I could see both of them at the same time, but I don't know if they would do that. Any further questions? If not... Okay, so that doesn't mean anything, so, okay, cool, great. Do.
Hold it!
You claim he stole a family heirloom from this Titian residence, but claiming something doesn't make it true. Unfortunately, it is true. How can you be so sure? A police report was filed concerning the theft, 1 year ago, in fact. What? A whole year ago? August 25th of last year, to be exact. The report states, and I quote, "The crystal of Amy Faye was discovered to be missing. From the Titian storehouse at 10 a.m., the storehouse lock had been picked." Signed, Paula Titian Wimperson. He is a wimp.
Well, a year-old report certainly leads the plaintiff's claim, lends the plaintiff's claim credence. The doctor really could have stolen the crystal of Amy Faye.
You already Googled, searched for an answer that the teacher asked? Oh, don't worry. If you want, there's like an entire list of every school questions, you just ace it. Because the only punishment you get from failing those test answers is like, you miss out on free points. So a lot of people just search that up. I didn't my first time around. On my first playthrough, I didn't look it up. But on the second one, I just had the list of answers so I could get the max stats. Because there's really no point other than just, like, immersing yourself. Not only that, Your Honor, but the Foundry's orb was only found to be missing several weeks ago. That's nearly a year after the crystal's theft was reported. Therefore, I believe we must consider the orb and the crystal to be two separate items.
Politician Wimperson? Not the most awe-inspiring tail end, is it? I see why you cut it.
Not that he inspires confidence without it. Still, I'd probably do the same in his shoes.
A police report was filed about the crystal's theft a year ago.
But the theft of the Founder's Orb was only reported a few weeks ago. So the crystal's police report was filed way before the orb was found missing.
That suggests the stolen relic is the...
Sorry, every time, like, somebody moves on screen, I assume they're gonna start talking. That suggests the stolen relic is the crystal of Amy Faye, as Mr. Attition Wimperson asserts.
I doubt the police report is fake. After all, Emmett is the one who submitted it as evidence.
Still, I feel like something we learned in that police report is important somehow. Bow bow, bow bow, bow bow bow, bow bow, bow bow. The crystal of Amy Faye was discovered to be missing from the Attition storehouse at 10 a.m. The storehouse lock had been picked. Okay.
A year ago by Mr. Politician Wimperson for the theft of the crystal of Amy Faye.
So, was there a report for the other Faye stuff, or what? I feel like that might be something.
If Deltarune comes out soon when you just got Persona, you're gonna be a little pissed.
Well, don't worry, it's only 2 chapters. The next Deltarune will probably be a cumulative, maybe like 10 hours in total. Unless they really cooked, and then I don't know how much there is gonna be, but... I'm gonna guess it's probably like, if you're speeding through, it's probably 5 hours each for both chapters. I think one of them's supposed to be a short chapter, or something. Or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe one was supposed to be like the longest chapter. No, didn't Toby say that 2 was supposed to be the longest chapter? No, now I'm mixing and mashing. I don't know what's true anymore. It's been a long time. But I remember there being some discussion on that. Yeah. I mean, I saw that last Blue Sky tweet he did. That they're, like, drinking the last bits of soda through the ice cubes right now. It's, like, that close to being done. Which is a strange analogy, but I got it. It's definitely gonna be done soon. At the earliest, maybe the end of next month.
Hold it!
Undertale Green. Are you sure these allegedly stolen artifacts are the real deal?
Well, they're not fakes, that's for sure. Take the urn, for example. Apparently, it's an extremely intricate work of art. Its design, cracks, and other features would be impossible to replicate perfectly.
I think Phoenix can talk to you about that. Actually, I've had a few run-ins with that urn myself. So I was shocked to see it there in the doctor's study. I can say without a doubt that the urn was stolen from the Fae clan. I see.
Detective Sky, please continue with your testimony if you would.
Hold it!
And the paint splotches. Had these alleged thefts been going on for some time?
At least 5 years, as far as we can tell.
Yeah, we're going against Phoenix for this one. Yeah.
All the recent thefts had been local. But before moving to Curian Village, he had been stealing from the ruins around the world.
Dr. Buff was an international criminal?
This data lends itself to but one conclusion. Dr. Buff was a thief.
We're dealing with Nathan Drake here. Click that. Click that. Click that. We should fumble so the goat can win another case. True. Wait a minute. He's spitting. Did I press that one? How exactly did Dr. Buff arouse the suspicion of the police anyway?
Chalk it up to good old-fashioned sleuthing. After investigating countless artifact thefts over the past few years, the police finally zeroed in on him, and the doctor became their prime suspect.
A number of those artifact thefts occurred in Curian Village too, if I might add. And they started right around the time the doctor moved there. But he was never arrested. I take it there was nothing concrete linking him to the crime?
No, which is why we were never able to get a search warrant in the first place. It's hard to arrest the artifact thieves unless you can catch them red-handed. Still, the police had him under constant surveillance.
Bam, bam, bam. Okay, so I gotta point out a inconsistency here. Probably with our new piece of info. Just the crystal?
Objection!
Dodo, dodo, dodo. Dodo, 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 dodo. Alright. Dr. Buff. Just today, a number of stolen artifacts were discovered in his study. Among them were a priceless urn and the statue that was stolen from the Fae clan. Seems the doctor would do anything to study artifacts, including steal them. As for the relic at the center of this dispute, he likely stole it from the Etitian residence. Founder's Orb. I hate that we can't just, like, investigate items fully whenever we want. It's only when the game wants. Ba, 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 ba. Do 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 do. Hello, Big Boss. Good eve. Hearing a microphone, raincoat, glowing moss, email. Can I check the email? Sorry for the patterns and have yet to crack the riddle. The opaque crystal orb is the key. Conveniently, he doesn't say anything about it. You want a compliment, Big Boss? Your immense knowledge on Ace Attorney and how you can access it wildly without any, like, problems is insane. Your research coming along. Well, I think it's the guy running for mayor definitely was the one who either stole the orb or got him to research it, or both. Ugh. Crystal of Amy Faye was discovered to be missing from the Etitian storehouse at 10 a.m. Storehouse lock had been picked. It was in a... Oh no, he went to go hide it. Ba, 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 ba. What's the objection here?
Hold it!
Oh, I had to do it again. This police report may say the Crystal of Amy Faye, but how do you know it's the relic right here?
Because Mr. Etitian has stated as much.
Well, I'm not buying it.
Apollo, I was thinking. The plaintiff's legal name is pretty distinctive. Politician Wimperson. Do we have any evidence related to his initials or his name?
P-A-W? Oh. 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 Oh!
Think your logic's faulty?
Yeah, if the doctor stole the relic from Mr. Etition Wimperson, then there's one thing the doctor did that doesn't make sense. Especially if Politician Wimperson was desperately searching for his stolen relic. Okay, time to go over the evidence again. Oh, I got it! It's ham-fisted. Thank you. Oops. Ah, damn it. I hate accidentally doing that. It's been a while since I've done it. Okay.
Objection!
The doctor stole the relic from the plaintiff? Are you sure? Because that statement doesn't agree with a certain piece of evidence.
What do you mean?
Take a look at this.
What about it?
This contains an email from the doctor's computer.
Email? In that little piece of plastic? I'm afraid I don't understand.
A hard drive? You never heard of, it's a you never heard of a USB stick before? Like, what?
No, this stick here can store all sorts of computer data.
Still, I don't get it.
Here, just look at this. Apparently the doctor was reporting his research findings to a certain individual. Get out of here. Now, take a look at this. It's the police report Detective Skye presented to this court. You can see the plaintiff's legal name on it. Politician Wimperson.
I can see why I dropped the Wimperson from his name, but it's hardly breaking news.
Look closer, Your Honor. Ah! His initials! Right. The plaintiff's full legal name is Politician Wimperson. Now consider this. The email's recipient address starts with three letters.
Get out of here, Fly. It's distracting me. B-A-W. Oh, don't tell me.
Oh, but I will anyway. The individual who hired the doctor to study the disputed item is none other than Politician Wimperson.
Wait, then that means...
Exactly. He wouldn't have asked the man who stole his family heirloom to study it. Therefore, how could this possibly be the crystal of Amy Faye?
Ah!
Barely understands what a floppy disk is. Don't give him too much flack.
We never checked the doctor's emails. We couldn't even figure out the password to his computer.
What, really? The police department couldn't figure out a password? Isn't that part of your job? Oh well. The plaintiff willingly left the orb in the doctor's care so he could study it. At the behest of his benefactor.
Wait. Then what about the police report? I have all the details of the theft right here.
It's probably for another relic. The real crystal of Amy Faye. He's just using the report as a way to claim that our orb is actually his stolen crystal.
Objection!
And how are you so certain that Paw refers to my client's initials? Maybe the email's recipient was a dog lover. Perhaps. So let's get to know your client a little better, shall we? Mr. Politician Wimperson? Okay. Fair. I suppose shutting down detractors is all part of a politician's job. Answer me this, Mr. Etition Wimperson. What is... Oh. 7-Eleven. Get out of here. Oh, I see. A birthday. What's your birthday? What's your birthday? My birthday? It's July 11th. But what is it to you? Nah, 7-Eleven. Are you sure you don't just enjoy going to a store called 7-Eleven? Perhaps getting a slushie? Maybe a Slim Jim? Perhaps a nice cold soda pop? No? Oh, I see. You can address birthday gifts to my office. But full disclosure, I only accept gifts valued at $1,000 or more. Well, you'll accept PS5 Pros, that's for sure. Why has everyone gone silent? How can anyone be that self-centered? Oh, right, politician. Did everyone hear that? He said July 11th. July 11th, or rather, 7-11, matches the number in the email address. Both the name and birthday are a match. I hardly think that's a coincidence. Wait, why, you sneaky little... Looks like someone finally decided to join in on the conversation. Would the plaintiff care to explain? I would like to say that is quite... Quite what? Quite a thing you've said. Any other thoughts? No further comments. I stand by my previous statement. It's quite a thing I said? Exactly. Goodbye. Hold it! You can't just walk away. Even politicians have to explain themselves in a court of law. I'm afraid I simply don't know how it happened. I can't possibly explain matters outside of my purview. Perhaps it was a mistake on the part of my secretary. Oh, no, you don't, you slippery eel. Mr. Wright, would you care to respond? I won't argue your assertion. My client lent the treasure in question to the doctor and asked him to study it. It seems that much is a fact. Now we're getting somewhere. However, it has no bearing on the issue of the ownership. How so? Mr. Titian, I fully understand your position here. You had to hide the fact that you sent the crystal out to be studied. Your family would have been very upset if they had found out. It's a family heirloom, after all. You've got to be kidding me! Mr. Wright as well. Right, of course. But then, he always is. That's why he's my lawyer. Yeah, except for when I'm on the defense bench, then everybody thinks I'm bluffing. The crystal is a precious Titian family heirloom and has been for centuries. But Dr. Buff was so eager to study its proud heritage, I just couldn't say no. Edgeworth asks objection. I'll concede that much, right? You are correct on this part. But however, fuck you. You're wrong, actually, in every right. I didn't even tell my grandfather. Objection! But in order to win the backing of your so-called benefactor, you were going to give what you claim to be the Crystal of Amy Faye to that person? You were going to give a precious family heirloom away, just like that? I was going to explain everything to my grandfather later, honest! My client's grandfather is very proud of his grandson for following in his footsteps. And if refusing him would have meant dashing the dreams of his darling grandson, I doubt the kindly old man could have said no. By the way, why is Phoenix doing this? Is he just doing it because, like, it's he thinks it's a Faye heirloom? Is that why? I guess maybe he'll explain it later, but he's really going hard for this piece of shit, and usually he doesn't really go for the pieces of shit. His ass is broke. Well, that's fair enough. I mean, Apollo ain't broke. He is charging the same fee for his dad. Bro said I'm running my normal fee on my father. That's hard. I doubt the kindly old man could have said no.
Well, grandchildren are meant to be spoiled. That's what grandfathers are for.
Your Honor, please. I mean, it's been in the family for centuries. My grandfather thinks highly of my talents as a politician. That's why he entrusted me with this very important name play card today.
Huh?
So I'm sure he would have been okay with me using the crystal I saw fit. A petition. Ugh, spoiled little brat. I think the judge is buying it, Apollo. No surprise there. He's always going on about his own grandchildren, after all. Excuse me, can I leave now, Mr. Wright? I believe my work here is done. By all means, Detective Sky. Thank you for your assistance. You're welcome. It's nice to testify at a civil trial once in a while. See you around.
Seems the facts have changed somewhat. Mr. Attition Wimperson apparently lent his family heirloom to Dr. Buff. Mr. Justice, how would the defense like to proceed?
Oh, all right. Now what? Apollo, let's hear what they know about this so-called crystal of Amy Faye. Maybe we can find some inconsistencies in their taste. In their tastes? Okay, sure. Eat this. Now eat this. Thoughts? I might need to go get another drink. Something about me ain't right today. I'm thirsty. I feel really good, though. Just can't speak properly. Nah, I can't. Ever. I'll do it soon. Right. Okay then, Mr. Wright, if the item in question really is the Attition family heirloom, then let's hear all your client knows about it. Of course. Mr. Attition Wimperson, please tell the defense everything you know about the crystal's origin. All right. Now then, listen and learn. This is the tale of the crystal of Amy Faye, the illustrious history of the Attition clan. Are you ready? Our story begins back in the old country, when the Attition family reigned supreme. My ancestor was praised as a benevolent ruler. He protected the spirit mediums, a minority back then, from the rest of his locals. Some discriminated against them, you see, while others tried to abuse their power. As thanks, Amy Faye gave the crystal she had specially made as a gift to him. I am a descendant of that great lord. As such, my political power and influence is backed by centuries of history. Okay, maybe Amy Faye will be in the Great Ace Attorney then. If it is that far back. Oh, well, that's just great. Cool. We gotta deal with that. Great. Well, that devolved into a great load of self-aggrandizing propaganda fast. As you can see, the crystal of Amy Faye is an heirloom of the esteemed House of Attition. And you have proof that it's always been in the Attition family? I have someone who gave a statement to that effect. My client's neighbor, one Ives Shinito. Ives Shinito. Ives Shinito. Really? Now? Of all times. Is that a pun? Maybe I have Shinito. I have shit to do. I've got Shin-Ito. Age 85 gave the following statement. The Attitians showed me the crystal back when I was but a lad. Objection! Can we really trust the memory of an old man? Mr. Justice, would you care to explain that statement to the judge? I didn't mean, what I'm trying to say is,
Never underestimate the memory of your elders. I may forget my verdicts the next day, but the memories of my past are clear as day. Therefore, I find Mr. Ive Shinito's statement to be perfectly credible.
See how Mr. Wright got the judge on his side? That's definitely a trick I want up my sleeve. Ugh, you're not helping, Athena.
You may cross-examine the witness, Mr. Justice.
At least Phoenix isn't all, like, antsy or mean. Like every other prosecutor. He's not like a prissy bitch. He's our boy. He's our lad. That is fucking annoying. Really? Now? Ugh. I'll just try to ignore it. Apologies, everybody, if you can hear it. My ancestor was praised as a benevolent ruler. He protected the spirit mediums, a minority back then, from the rest of the locals. Some discriminated against them, you see, while others tried to abuse their power. The wiki says the puns, I've seen it all. Oh.
Hold it!
You said she had made it, so then it was made in Japan? That's right. Though they say she hired a famous craftsman to make it. And they say it's quite valuable, too. And you were going to take such priceless family heirloom and just give it to your patron? Feh! That's so typical of you ignorant common types. Making difficult decisions when the chips are down is what a politician's all about. Only when it's in service of your own political career, you mean? The crystal's a testament to my ancestors' remarkable achievements. And furthermore...
Hold it!
So tell me, Mr. Attition Wimperson, are you famous in Curian Village? You could say that, but I find my popularity to be rather bemusing. Bemusing? Yeah, my campaign posters keep going missing as soon as I put them up. My avid supporters and female fans are likely taking them home to hang in their bedrooms. I guess ignorance really is bliss. All this just only proves my lineage.
Hold it!
I'm sorry, but is any of that relevant to the issue of the relic's rightful owner? Have you never heard of kingcraft? Kingcraft? It's the art of ruling as a king. My father drilled it in my head at a young age. And one of its precepts state, ruin awaits a ruler who responds to every single issue posed by the masses. Well, that answered my question about what he meant by king of this nation. Paulo, who is this Amy Faye anyway? I believe she was the founder of Curian channeling technique. The plaintiff claims she had the crystal made for his ancestor. That would mean it was in Japan, right? Yeah, I suppose it would.
Hold it!
That object you set down there, is it something of importance to you? It's a name placard. This one here belonged to my grandfather, Abraham Attition. He had it custom made during his distinguished political career. It's special because it was crafted from the finest Italian plastic. I wasn't aware that Italians were famous for their fine plastic. You can touch it if you want. No, I'm fine. Very well. I'll just continue with my testimony. My ancestor was praised as a benevolent ruler, but he was also an eminent politician. Bow wow wow.
Hold it!
So I take it the relationship with the Fae clan was a close one. A smooth and open line of communication with my entire electorate.
That's the politician way. Sorry. I was asking about your ancestor. Heh, whether it's about me or my ancestor, feel free to ask me anything you'd like. Transparency in government, that's the politician way.
More like dodging questions. That's the politician way. Thanks. I'll be sure to ask when I have something you'll actually answer.
As I was saying,
Hold it!
Spirit mediums were targets of discrimination.
yes, some people even treated them like they were monsters. The transformation the mediums underwent when channeling spirits frightened the locals. You know, a little child growing into a 40-year-old woman with big honkers, it's kind of crazy. And then there were those who tried to use them.
You mean they sought to control the channeling powers of the mediums?
Discriminating against a minority is absolutely despicable. A vote for me is a vote to end discrimination. I vow to root it out wherever it may be. That's my promise to you.
Yeah, you and every other politician, and then what do? You just spread more discrimination.
You're a poopy head. He's totally ignoring your questions. It's like you're a moderator at a political debate.
Yeah, and he only cares about his talking points. As thrilling as your campaign is,
Could we please get back to the testimony? Feh, as you wish. Now then, as for the crystal of Amy Faye...
special gift, great lord, back for centuries. I did press that, didn't I? Yeah, I did, okay. Check the rest of it, just in case I did skip over something.
Hold it!
Okay, yep, did that too. Okay. Give it to him as a parting gift, huh?
Ooh. Boom. Boom.
Crystal of Amy Faye was discovered to be missing from the Attition storehouse at 10 a.m. Storehouse lock had to have been picked.
Do, 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 do. Song never gets old. Sever the patterns, but have yet to crack the riddle. The opaque crystal orb is the key.
Oops. The opaque crystal orb's the key. So yeah, it is a crystal ball.
Do, 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 do.
The picture of your dead dad.
Yeah, you know what?
You're right. This does contradict the facts.
Do, 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 do.
Lord. Okay. Give the crystal she had specially made as a gift to him. Oh, hey, look! Look at that. It even has the same icon on the box.
Objection!
I don't know why we didn't bring that up earlier. That seems more like dead giveaway that it's not his. I can't believe I figured that out as soon as, like, it was supposed to be figured out. It's because there was a picture of it. So, you know, I was like, oh, surely it's, you know, something to do with the orb now. Okay. You stated that Amy Faye had the crystal made for your ancestor. So am I to assume it was made in Japan?
That's right. The craftsmanship is unbeatable.
Well, that's strange. I don't see how your so-called crystal could have been made there. What are you talking about? It's quite obvious if you take a closer look at this. Burp, burp, burp.
Take that!
Take a look at the distinctive design here. According to Dr. Buff, it's a Mitama motif dating back to the early days of the Kingdom of Kyurin.
The Kingdom of Kyurin? And you base this on...
Here, this piece of evidence, Your Honor. These are the doctor's research notes on the Founder's Orb. Hell, Phoenix, you're the one who opened that fucking box. You should have known. And this isn't the box in which the orb was originally stored. Features the same pattern as the one found on the orb.
They do look like the same pattern.
Therefore, I assert that the disputed item must have been made in the Kingdom of Kyurin. No! Oh, my placard! Oh!
Objection!
The Kyurain channeling technique originated in the Kingdom of Kyurin. And Amy Faye is known to have traveled there to train. With that in mind, what's to say she didn't bring that pattern back with her?
Objection!
But since this is clearly a Kyurinese design, not even you can deny the possibility that it was made there, in the Kingdom of Kyurin.
Objection!
Anything's possible to some extent. That doesn't make it true. So you can't conclude that the orb's from Kyurin based solely on that pattern. Hey, listen, Phoenix, if you were in my seat, you definitely would have. Nuh-uh, I wouldn't have. I would have made something, like, smarter. Something more definitive, like, I don't know, this, you know, certificate of authentication that it was made in oh, fuck. You know, this prosecuting stuff's hard. If it were that simple, I could just as easily say it's Japanese.
I have to agree with Mr. Wright. The pattern alone proves nothing. But that also means there's no basis to claim the item in dispute was made in Japan either. At this rate, we're going nowhere fast.
He's right. We're just spinning our wheels here. Where do we have any evidence that could break the stalemate? Evidence that could break the stalemate. Mitama motif from Kyurin founding period. Where's the Mitama the favor the orb is bestowed? God, this song's so good. I mean, it probably does exist, but, you know, I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants, Phoenix style. The defense would like to present a piece of evidence to the court. A piece that will finally break this stalemate. Oh? Well, you've sure piqued my interest. Let's see what you've got. All right. I will now prove that this is, in fact, the Founder's Orb. Do we have anything? I think this might have been a moment where I was supposed to say, no, I don't have anything. Now that you put it like that, I don't know. Are you sure the research notes aren't enough? Gold. Well, the fact that he agreed to give it to the Defiant Dragons, maybe? No, wait, I didn't want to. That was an accident. Here's my dead dad! I didn't mean to do that. Oops. Not by any means I can fathom.
Sorry, Apollo, but I have to agree with the boss on this. Me too, actually.
Me 3 defense.
Yikes. Well, it gave me a chance again. I'm not sure. I'll just say no and see where we go. Doesn't seem to be anything we can use, at least not at this point. Well, unless we can find something, this trial won't be going anywhere. He fixed it up. What a jackass. Whew, that's much better. What's his deal?
I have a suggestion. Why don't we consider this from a different angle?
I'm listening.
What if the Defiant Dragons really were authorized to take possession of the relic? I'm afraid I don't know where you're going with this, Mr. Wright.
Consider the orb transfer agreement, which states, I agree to hand over the Founder's Orb to the Defiant Dragons if I'll come to no harm. What if, as the last part suggests, this was written under duress?
That would render the agreement null and void.
What are you suggesting, Mr. Wright?
While you were on your little cave expedition, I was investigating Dr. Buff's accident.
You know I nearly died in there. I know we're against each other right now, but like, we're like brothers. You're like my other dad, my third dad, if you will. You're being very cold. I nearly drowned in there. No sympathy for old Polly?
Listen, I'll buy you some noodles if you win, but come on. It was just something you overlooked, Mr. Justice. Namely, that his accident might have actually been murder.
What? Murder? But then you can't be over there if we're gonna decide this. We need to get a prosecutor in here.
Don't worry, Hedgeworth couldn't, couldn't stay away. He'll be stepping in. I'll be his little assistant. Mr. Wright, you do realize such statements are not to be made lightly. Are you suggesting the Doctor was murdered by the Defiant Dragons?
Yes, but follow me on this for a sec. The books that came tumbling down from the archaeology shelf... Oh, wait, hold on, sorry, what did he say? The books that were from the archaeology shelf. However, among that mountain of books was a single volume on psychology. What's more, there was blood on it. And you feel that this is important because... The books came tumbling down were from the top shelf, the archaeology books. We know this because the Doctor's books were meticulously organized by subject. Archaeology took up the entire shelf, so that psychology book is completely out of place. Come to think of it, the shelves were arranged quite carefully. It's also worth noting that psychology books only take up a tiny bit of the bottom shelf. You might wonder why a book on psychology was found amid the pile of archaeology books. And I believe I can explain what that single out-of-place book was doing there. The Doctor was struck from behind while selecting a psychology book from the shelf. And that's when blood had got on the book? Precisely. And to make it look like an accident, he was buried under a mountain of archaeology books.
Objection!
Wait a sec. This is all just speculation, right? Or do you have proof that it was murder?
Of course I do.
You do?
On a hunch, I had Detective Skye examine the Doctor's head wound. She found that he'd been struck by the corner of some object or another.
Wait, what? Shouldn't that have been, like, the first thing they checked? Why was it even labeled accidental if he was, conked?
Well, it's just to, bring in some drama, I guess. A wound like that couldn't have resulted from a fall to the floor, Do you understand what this means, Mr. Justice? I am asserting that you killed him!
What?
I am to believe that your father is a Defiant Dragon. In fact, the leading member.
Dirk, was it?
Yeah, sorry, son. I gotta side with Phoenix on this one. I think you're the one who murdered him.
What?
The wound makes it crystal clear that Dr. Buff was murdered.
What? Well, that was unexpected. Who'd have thought we'd break out of the stalemate like this? He pulled the ladder right from out under us.
Still, if he thinks that's enough to make me back down, he's got another thing coming. Even if the cause of death was murder, what makes you think it was the Defiant Dragons? You should know better than to hurl baseless accusations.
Objection!
Did you forget who you were up against, Mr. Justice?
Haha.
You didn't actually think I'd come to court without witnesses and evidence, did you? What are you talking about? I'd like to request further testimony from the plaintiff, specifically. I would like the court to hear how he saw one of the rebels leaving the crime scene. He saw what? He's gonna give the orb, though? It obviously wasn't the Defiant Dragons, genius. It's obviously not the Defiant Dragons. And if it was one that was, like, lower rank or something. They already had the agreement, so it definitely wasn't any of them. It had to have been, well, probably, you know, Paul. Wait, is Phoenix really gonna act as a prosecutor here? Is that allowed? Did he have this up his sleeve the entire time? How could Mr. Wright do this to us? He was just waiting to spring his trap.
Well, this trial's taken another unexpected turn. But I must mention, Mr. Wright, that you have yet to identify the murder weapon.
The object used to commit the murder was not located at the scene of the crime. The murderer likely disposed of it elsewhere.
Well, I never thought we'd be deliberating the issue of murder at a civil trial. All right, Mr. Attention Wimperson, your testimony, if you please.
All right, so we don't need a prosecutor, I guess? Like, is that just, we don't need that now? Okay. Well, before he gives his testimony, I'm going to go grab a drink. I know that Big Boss activated a hydrate, and I got nothing. I got nothing. I got nothing! Wait, do I have nothing? Oh, wait, I do have something hidden. I had another Coke in my fridge. I forgot. I didn't see it earlier when I looked in there. It was hidden. Put a couple more in there. Okay, never mind. I'm not going anywhere then. Fuck that. Next time I go to the bathroom, I'll grab water, though. I'll have some Diet Cock, thank you. I don't think he's acting like a jerk. I think he's acting normally. He's done that before. Like what, going against Apollo and Athena? I mean, it seems more like he's testing them rather than, like, doing it out of spite or anything. I mean, he's Phoenix Wright. Like, he doesn't really have the capacity to be evil. I mean, look at him. Bro's interrogated a bird and a fucking orca. Like, he can't be evil. He just doesn't know the meaning of the void. I gotta turn my fan on. It's getting quite warm now. In the evening. Quite the predicament. Hold on. Hello? Where's the cable? Oh, there it is. There it is. Oops. Ba-da-ba-bum. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-boop-boop-boop-boop. Okay. Ah. That'd be nice. Honestly, though, why don't we have a prosecutor? Is that going to be addressed? Like, it would be fun if Edgeworth came in and helped Phoenix on this. Because he's indicting the Defiant Dragons here. I know it's a civil trial, but it's turned into a murder. Doesn't that warrant something happening to change it, maybe? I don't know. I don't know nothing. He's civilly calling you a murderer. Oh my god, he's actually a tiger in disguise. We can give him that costume. That would be kind of funny to do. Well, he's on the other side of the courtroom.
All right, Mr. Reticent Wimperson, your testimony, if you please.
Prepare to be dazzled. Dazzled by the the charismatic oration forged in the crucible of campaign battles. That evening I was walking alone, lost in thought. I passed by the doctor's house, and that's when I saw Mr. Arbol. He was running out of the front door. It was around 10 at night. Surely that must have been him fleeing the scene of the crime. A vote for me is a vote to end such violence. That's my promise to you.
So the plaintiff saw a possible suspect fleeing from the doctor's residence, and it was within the window of the estimated time of death.
That's our ball. What in the world were you doing there then? It seems Mr. Arbol was loitering around Curian Village that day. There's evidence he was in the doctor's study as well. Isn't that right, Mr. Justice? You mean the suitcase? Exactly. He must have been in quite the rush to leave that behind. Oh, and by the way, Your Honor, Mr. Arbol just so happens to be sitting in the gallery today. See? That's him trying to escape as we speak.
Bailiff, don't let that man get away!
Right, you backstabber! Why are you doing this to me? Man. So Larry's gonna be in the DLC case, so he's definitely not here. Honestly, if Larry was the one running for mayor, that would have been so good. That would have been so funny.
All right, the counsel/defense may question the plaintiff/witness once more. Ahem. Please proceed, Mr. Justice.
Do 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 do. Hold on. 1 second. Oh, let the music play. Okay. That evening I was walking alone, lost in thought. Mr. Arbol was running out the front door. I think that's the one we want to... Because the entrance is up on stairs, so there might be an inconsistency here.
Hold it!
Did you notice anything unusual? Yeah, his behavior was incredibly suspicious. His eyes were darting all around as he ran off in a total panic. As soon as I saw that, I knew he'd done something, and it probably wasn't any good. Despite that, you still didn't report it to the police? Who would have thought he'd killed Dr. Buff? Not me, that's why I didn't report him. Yes, it is. There's a giant fucking window where his body was. Which means he was watching from the back. Yes, it's important. I request that the witness add it to his testimony. Fair. Sure. Why not? Oh, sure. You didn't.
Objection!
What? The big window? The big window he was dead in front of? That's not the objection? You know, you're gonna give me a whole angle thing. Maybe he was standing behind the tree that's in the picture. Why else would the tree be there unless he was standing behind it, snooping? Okay, hold on. They did a fun little bit while I wasn't watching. A gambler once sang, you gotta know when to hold 'em and when to fold 'em.
Oh, I love this one. Know when to walk away. Know when to run.
Hold it!
You had no idea it was dead. In other words, you knew nothing about what had happened. Whoops. I am truly ashamed of myself. What? There's been a gruesome murder in my beloved village. What a fool I've been! I was thinking only of the village's future and world peace. It seems my earnest attitude and industrious nature have come back to haunt me. Only a politician would try to pass off self-aggrandizement as self-deprecation. You think this is how all politicians will be from now on? We're all doomed if they are. If you don't mind, I'd like to continue with my testimony. No idea that Dr. Breath was dead. That's why I didn't call the police. Oh, is it the study photo?
Objection!
Oh. Okay, never mind. I guess he is kind of a ways from the window. He's not right up against it. I guess that's not the objection, huh? Yeah, I thought I had it. Would have made sense, too. If that was the objection, then we could assert that he wasn't at the front, he was at the back, or further off, or something. Blah. Double team just for doing what Mr. Right always does anyway. Based. No idea that he was dead. Oh. I guess I'll just, continue pressing then.
Hold it!
But at the time, you didn't know the doctor was dead. Is that correct? It's true that I've been known as a prodigy from a very young age. Huh? I graduated high school and college with exceptional grades as class president. I reformed stale old school traditions. My exploits were even covered in local papers. But as exceptional as I am, I can't possibly be expected to know everything at all times. This isn't working. He was bending the questions to serve his own needs. Hang in there, Apollo. Mr. Attention Wimperson, I believe the court is well aware of your exceptional nature. Now, please, would you continue with your testimony? I have the upcoming election in the bag.
Hold it!
So, how do you actually intend to end such violence? Elite politicians such as myself never reveal their strategies. Did you really think I would divulge such sensitive information to the likes of you? Yeah, but, Surely you have some sort of campaign platform you're running on. Well, Twitter.com. No comment. Clearly, he uses a platform told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. You didn't know the doctor was dead? Well, I guess that makes sense, considering the body was inside the study. Right, how could he have known? Guess I should at least find out where the Weasley witness was when he saw Dats.
Hold it!
Oh, wait. I already did that one. Before that. So the witness didn't notify the police. Is that important? Yes. Doo-doo, 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 doo-doo. Where exactly were you when you saw Mr. Arbol? Right here, under this tree. Great. So right by the window where the murder occurred. If I'm right about this objection, I'm gonna be pretty mad. I saw him dashing out of Dr. Buff's front door. And he didn't notice you? No, I was hidden by the tree.
Is it really all that important to know where the plaintiff saw Mr. Arbol?
Yes, I believe it matters a lot. I ask that it please be added to the witness's testimony.
Hold it!
What were you doing under that tree? A lack of lateral thinking. That is a politician's downfall. What? That is why, if I'm elected, I promise to think outside the box. The question was, what were you doing under the tree, Mr. Titian Wimperson? Pfeh, I suppose I can't expect a plebeian such as yourself to understand my grand design. Oh yeah? Try me, O Lord of Plebs. Mr. Titian Wimperson, I believe the court is well aware of your grand political vision. Now, let's have the rest of your testimony, if you would please. Pfeh, can hardly wait for the upcoming election. Now?
Objection!
Ugh. Oh wait, maybe it was supposed to be this. A15, 10 to 11. Well, shit. Oh, right, and in this one you have to redo the entire testimony. Ah. Great. Just great. Oh, wait, we got a new one. That creep politician stole the Founder's Orb right out of our hands. The dream of revolution in Kingdom of Círdan died that day, and we returned to our daily lives. As for my relationship with Mr. Wright, the word awkward comes to mind. Let's just say it was never really the same. What, was Phoenix just like too ashamed of you because you lost? He's like, yeah, I knew you were gonna win from the start. Oh, man.
Hold it!
Oh, at least I can skip past it, kinda. Well, surely. It doesn't hurt to have all of the statements added to the testimony. Especially if I don't get punished for having them, or, like, they have to switch. Oh, whoops. I thought I hit the other one. Ba-dum, ba-dum.
Hold
This
it!
one. Bum, 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 bum. Alright, I think this is probably it. If we can prove that he saw the body, though... there's no way he saw his body through that window, but... I guess we could assert that he could have seen the crime. He could have saw something fall if he was right there. Which would probably mean... this?
Objection!
Ow. Oh! Da-dum, da-dum. I just thought he was napping and using the books as a blanket. Of course. Of course, of course. Who wouldn't think that? Corner of an object. Worth of a year ago. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. That Halo, the leaked Halo games are coming to every console, like that leak says. I think we'll stream them. Halo might be fun to stream. I haven't played 1 or 2. I played 3 as a kid. If I used the map or just the photo of the body, I did both.
Objection!
Oh. Oh, it's because I didn't have the other statement added to the testimony before when I used the map.
I used the map first, by the way, before I added the second statement. Because we got that statement first. I used the map, didn't work, you need to add both. Great. Awesome. Mr. Titian Wimperson, rather than Mr. R. Ball. Wasn't there something else that should have had your undivided attention? Like what? Oh, yes, of course. A politician must always keep his finger on the electorate's pulse. Sorry, but you're way off. I am. Yeah, you'd think after, what, 6 games? No, more than that. How many was it? 8 games. Should have been 8 games. After 8 games, I still don't do that. After 8 games, I just can't help myself but object early. That's including investigations.
Would you care to explain, Mr. Justice?
If the witness saw Mr. Arbol from his position here, then he should have also been able to see the doctor's body.
Is that actually true, though?
Like, could he have seen him? I mean, he's like a bit away from the window. And he would have been, like, lower down to the ground. Where's this ground level? The way that tree's positioned, is this on the ground? Wait, now I'm confused. Oh, yeah, I think it is. I think this is ground level. No, I'm getting confused, because the top level has a staircase on the other side of the room. That's right. I think the thing outside the window is just a bush. Yeah, exactly. But, like, you know, it could be a tree. That's a bussy. Bussy. Of course. Sorry, yeah. No, that's right. It does look a little confusing, though. Am I the only one who thinks that window looks like it's on a second floor? Like, that bush looks... I don't know. Even now knowing, it still kind of looks like it's above the ground. Oh well. Yes, you should have been able to see the doctor's body. It's right there. After all, it was right next to a huge window.
Why, I believe you have a point.
With the body that clearly visible to the witness, it's unthinkable that he wouldn't have been reported to the... I mean, he wouldn't have been reported unless he was the murderer! It's unthinkable that he wouldn't have reported it to the police. Ugh.
Would the witness care to respond?
Did he fall asleep?
Mr. Attition Wimperson? Mr. Attition Wimperson!
There are many sides to the issue. What did I ever do to deserve this? In any case, I'd like the court to acknowledge the inconsistency in the witness's testimony. Mr. Attition Wimperson, did you really see Mr. Arbol? Yes. That is to say, no, I didn't.
Hold it!
Where do you think you're going? Oh, I thought I'd return to my seat, seeing as I'd already answered the question. This isn't some small town hall debate. So you just stay right there until I say we're through. I'll have to run that by my campaign manager before
Objection!
Glare. Did you just say No, you're hearing things. I'm glaring. I'm pretty sure you're saying you're Stop glaring at me! Mr. Attition Wimperson, I think it's time for you to come clean. So then, does this mean he didn't see Mr. Arbol? As your lawyer, Mr. Attition Wimperson, advise you to divulge the matter we discussed. Silence is no longer an option. Are you sure about this? I'm in the midst of running for office. I can't afford to let any strange rumors get out. Don't worry, you won't suffer any blowback for what you're about to reveal.
Blowback? I'm not sure I like the sound of that, Mr. Wright.
Not to worry, Your Honor. Nothing untoward will come of this, I promise. Now then, Mr. Justice. Remember how it was an anonymous caller that reported the doctor's death? Come to think of it... it was him, so he did report it. So then, why did they, not arrest our... Well, I guess they did arrest Arbol, but that was for something else. Wait, you're not saying that... Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. The anonymous source who contacted the police after discovering the body was... my client, Mr. Politician Wimperson. What? You don't say. So you see, he played his part as a concerned citizen. Quite admirably, if I say so. Isn't that right? Yes, indeed. In our society today, there are too many who choose indifference over righteous action. But I don't number among them. That's why I did my duty as a concerned citizen. One might call me the model citizen, one worthy of standing above the rest. What a real standard bearer he is. Reporting it anonymously. No, and by the way, Mr. Justice. Wasn't there someone else at the scene of the crime when my client discovered the body? Oh, you mean Mr. Arbol? He would have been leaving the doctor's house right about then. Wait, that means... Yes, it does. In short,
What my client witnessed was Mr. Arbol fleeing the scene of a heinous murder. And that's not all, based on what we've heard so far. Mr. Arbol looked exceedingly suspicious, and that's putting it mildly. You know, being on the other side of this glorious music, it's pretty sharpening. Of the knife brandishing my neck, that is. We already know the Defiant Dragons threatened the Doctor with bodily harm. And now that they've killed him, the so-called orb transfer agreement is null and void. Ah!
Apollo, if we don't come up with some sort of counter-argument...
And what sort of evidence do you have? Can you actually prove that it was Mr. Arbol who killed the Doctor?
That move had desperate written all over it.
That's all I got, so I'm going with it. Evidence? I suppose it's true that I don't have any... evidence. Quote unquote. I knew it. But I do have another witness.
You do?
You should know I always come fully prepared, Mr. Justice. My new witness will provide testimony proving Mr. Arbol's guilt. I call up that tree that he was standing next to.
A new witness? I wonder who it could be.
Very well. Bailiff, please summon our new witness. In the meantime, the court will take a brief recess. I would like both sides to use this time to prepare properly. Understood?
Do-do-do-do.
Wow, I knew Mr. Wright would put up a tough fight, but...
Yeah, just when I thought we had him, he turned the tables on us. He really is the turnabout terror.
Can't let him blindside us again. Looks like they've got me again. 3 times in 1 year! That's a new record!
That's, please, no more new records or bad puns while you're at it.
It's hard enough trying to help you as it is. Roger that. I'll be more careful next time. That is what Mr. Wright said true. Did you really pay a visit to Dr. Buff that night? Sure did. Can't remember the exact time, though. All I know is he wouldn't hand over the orb. Someone put it in his head that we rebels were dangerous. That's why he threw me out.
So the Doctor was still alive when Dats last saw him. We'll still have to prove it, though.
Better brace yourself, son. The next witness's testimony could make or break this case.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, where's Trucy?
She went to go see her dad. Maybe she's still mad. More like worried. Worried that this trial will create a rift between you two. And that you might then leave the agency.
She has an active imagination. Seriously, where else would I go? Excuse me, the trial will be resuming shortly.
Well, let's go see what this new testimony awaits us.
All right, court is now back in session. Mr. Wright, you said you had a witness? Your Honor, I would like to call the lone survivor of the Doctor's murder to the stand.
Oh, his son? Wait, he can't mean that Sarge is here.
You mean Dr. Buff's reclusive son?
How'd you get him to cooperate?
Nothing. A little persuasion can't handle. The poor child only agreed to help if it meant catching the killer.
A kid like that to overcome his fear? Now that's impressive. This must be really important testimony for the kid to come out in public like this.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Please call your witness to the stand.
Yeah, we know. They already revealed it. It's the helicopter.
Oh my!
Sergeant Buff at your service, sir. Here's the drone. Really?
Mr. Wright, what exactly is the meaning of this?
Well, past trauma has rendered it impossible for the witness to venture into public. So, I vote we testify the helicopter.
Okay, let me get this straight. A parrot, an orca, and now a helicopter. You really are something else, you know that?
Leaving home was hard enough, and it seems leaving the witness lobby was just too much. But I would still like to continue with testimony delivered via this drone.
Well, I understand it must be terrible to lose one's father like that. But testimony via a remote-controlled toy?
I mean, come on, we've done it with a walkie-talkie. What's the difference?
Well, let's take things for a spin and see how it goes.
Just who's piloting this trial anyway? The judge sure warmed up to that idea fast. I think the phrase you're looking for is gave up. You disappoint me, Corporal Justice, to think I once called you a comrade. Defending the man who killed Papa? That's full-on treason, soldier. I hereby demote you back to private. Corporal, private, what's he talking about, Apollo? It's a long story.
Now then, are you ready to testify, youngster?
Locked and loaded, sir. Ready to rain lead down upon the perpetrator. All right. Papa met with someone the night he died. I didn't have eyes on the ground, as I'd already mounted my siege defense, but I did hear him arguing with someone in his study. From my window, I saw the one designated deaths getting ejected from the premises. After that, the man lingered around the perimeter for some time. He must have regrouped and killed my papa at the study later. I just know it.
So he was thrown out, but later returned and committed the murder, did he?
Yes, Your Honor. So the man my client saw really must have been the fleeing Mr. Arbol. Objection! Right, you backstabbing no good. I didn't kill anyone. It's the enemy. Ready all missiles and fire! Whoa, 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 whoa! Capitalist pig, I'll turn you into a pork stroganoff. I'll be pork stroganoff, and that's just a taste of my ultimate anti-swine weapon. It fires missiles as well.
Yes, well, the witness is all yours, Mr. Justice.
What happened that enchanted evening? Papa met with something the night he died. I didn't have eyes on the ground, as I'd already mounted my siege defense, but I did hear him arguing with someone in his study. From my window, I saw the one designated deaths getting ejected from the premises. All right.
Hold it!
Your father met with someone. Could you be more specific? No, I was in the midst of a crucial defensive siege operation. Right. You're referring to how you don't leave your room, correct? You never know where the enemy might be lurking outside the siege perimeter. What about, school? Oh, I don't go to boot camp, I'm a soldier. A sergeant doesn't associate with rookies still too green to fight. A kid like this, I bet Dr. Buff won't be getting any rest in the afterlife either.
Well, it was very brave of you to come to the courthouse today. But what was that you said about a siege defense?
Oh, that, well...
Hold it!
Sarge, I've always wondered. Who or what are you battling? That's classified. Even so, it may be relevant to this case.
Objection!
I don't know if you're the right person to be asking about things like that. That's right, such matters need not to be handled with a certain delicacy. Delicacy. Oh wait, that is what she said. The other meaning. I instantly just thought of food. But like delicateness. Stupid English. Guess curiosity got the better of me. You're all talking, no action, soldier! Out on the battlefield, it ain't the number of pretty words in your repertoire, but the number of bullets in your gun belt that count. Easy for you to say. You're the one with all of them.
Will the witness please tell this court what he saw and heard that night?
Hold it!
An argument, you say? What was the argument about? I heard things like, "Where's the orb?" and "Are you Defiant Dragons really criminals?" Sounded real volatile, like a war might break out any second. The two of them had an argument when Deaths came to get the orb. Did you see or hear anything else? Yeah, I heard them arguing and then silence.
Hold it!
How's Mr. Arbol acting? Like a conquered trooper retreating with his tail between his legs. A trooper. Well, I guess he does dress like he's in the military. Oh, I bet those two would have really hit it off if they'd met under different circumstances. Yeah, I can see that. And so the defeated soldier was expelled, and that wasn't the end.
Hold it!
That does seem suspicious. He kept hiding behind trees and telephone poles and stealing glances at our house. Well, he couldn't exactly leave without the orb. I bet he was angry that he'd been kicked out.
Hold it!
But don't you keep your front door unlocked? If so, then anyone could get in. That's true. Papa didn't keep our house locked up. He said there was no need because there were only good people in Curian Village. Yet he ended up dead anyway. Only a monster could do what they did to my kind, trusting Papa. There will be no mercy. I vow swift and terrible vengeance. I'll carpet bomb the killer with everything in my arsenal. Fire!
While I sympathize with you, witness, you will refrain from firing Gatling guns in this court.
So Sarge saw Dats too. Just when I thought things couldn't get any worse. I wonder why he hung around after being thrown out. I hate to say it, but if Dats is proven to be the killer, we'll lose the orb to the plaintiff. So our only option is to prove the Defiant Dragons had nothing to do with the murder. Right. Well, we pressed everything. But they did bring up the hanging around. Boop, 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 boop. Between 10 and 11. Court filed a year ago by Mr. Politician. But then what about the agreement? I guess they were arguing about whether they were really dangerous. So they hung around after this, huh? Why is the coffee bar there? Is that gonna be important? And the statue too. Well, I mean, maybe that's just to be like, you know, it's there, but it is one of the relics. It was yelling "exterminate" at us. Bow, 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 bow. Regroup didn't kill my papa, I know it. Wait! His room's on the other side, isn't it?
Objection!
Ah, shit. Am I wrong? But isn't his room on the other side? Especially if the entrance is over there. Could he have even seen him leaving? Well, it's not shown on the map, so maybe I should have known better, but still. I'm arguing with someone in his study. Oh, I guess he did say from his window, though. He didn't have eyes on the ground. Is that true, though?
Objection!
Yeah, your thing. That's a pretty obvious one. I don't know. I didn't get that until now. Like, wait a minute. You got a bloody camera in that thing. Sarge, are you hiding something from me? How dare you question your superior officer like that? You want to get in on this Stroganoff action with Pig Boy over there, soldier? Sorry, but I'm afraid lawyers are missile-proof. What?
Would the defense care to explain?
It's simple, Your Honor. Just as he is able to see what's happening in court right now, Sarge was able to see what was happening in the study then. With his cherished drone, of course.
But now that you mention it... And to think, the answer was right before our eyes this whole time.
Sarge, you were perfectly capable of patrolling the study that night. So, you must have seen something. I'm hit. What is this strange new weaponry you're using against me? Courtroom warriors don't use guns or missiles because evidence is our weapon of choice. And the evidence has exposed your bald-faced lie. My truth bomb, Sarge, has stripped your defenses bare. Truth bomb? No! Mayday! Mayday! Drown!
Oh my, are you alright?
Evidence! Never have I seen such fearsome ordnance! Tell it to us straight, Sarge. After all, you want help? You want to help your father, don't you? Papa. Yes, you want to find out who killed him, don't you? So please, tell us what you saw that night. It's not what you think.
I didn't see anything. I swear.
You sure? You seem awfully stressed for someone who didn't see anything. Ah! Sarge, you need to answer my question.
Shut your pie hole, maggot! It'll be scorching day in Siberia before a lowly private like you orders me around.
What's it with him in Siberia, of all places? But if a scorching day is what it'll take, maybe it's time to turn up the heat. Hey, Athena, you think a therapy session might help?
Well, it could help alleviate some of the anxiety. Plus, I am picking up a lot of discord in Sarge's voice. That usually means the patient wants to say something, but can't for some reason.
And in Sarge's case, I imagine whatever's plaguing him is pretty severe. In that case, I leave it to you and your mood matrix magic.
You got it. Your Honor, I believe I can be of help here.
Time for a therapy session, is it, Miss Sykes?
Yes, and it'll help the witness with his anxiety. Maybe even enough to testify.
By all means, please bring the poor child out into the light of day. Oh, but I assume this will be all right with you, Mr. Wright?
Why not? It's not like we all haven't been through this before.
What are you butting in for, lady? There ain't a place on a battlefield for you.
Objection!
Sexist? I beg to differ, Sarge. This G.I. Jane's always ready for a fight in the courtroom. And wait until you see what I've got in my arsenal. Analytical psychology. With it, I'm gonna blow a big ol' hole in the armor you've built around your heart. First evidence, now analytical psychology? Where are these WMTs coming from? Well, if it's a battle you want, bring it on. You may have started this war, but I'm gonna end it. Corpse woman Sykes. You got it, Sarge. Time to seek out the agony buried deep in your heart. Brace yourselves!
Okie dokie. You stayed in your room with your drone that evening. Dad and Papa arguing with each other. Stayed in my room that evening. Why are you sad about that? Okay, that's not nothing. It's sad to stay in your room? Okay. Sure. I'd feel happy and content in my room, but you know, whatever. Arguing. Surprised. Makes sense. Got kicked out, but I still saw him hanging around outside. I was in my room, so I didn't know Papa was dead until the next day. Oh yeah, is that true, huh? Why is the surprise so low then? That's strange. You reacted with shock when you discovered your father's body. Yet you weren't nearly as shocked then as you were when you saw Mr. Arbal. Normally, you'd expect the death of someone's father to be much more impactful. Enemy fire! Direct hit! That is strange. I wonder what it could mean. Well, we know he wasn't affected by his father's death as he should have been. And I think I know why. Oh? Sarge, you weren't as shocked at seeing your father's body as seeing Mr. Arbal because you'd already seen his body. Sarge, maybe the truth is you left your room that night, and that's when you saw it, your father's body. I saw I saw no such thing, such no saw thing, me saw no such thing. Really, you didn't see his body? All right then. What did you see? Look, Apollo, we lost some noise. So, just as I suspected, he really did see something. Sarge, please, tell us what you saw.
But... The moment I saw it, I couldn't bear it. I couldn't stand to lose yet another loved one.
Am I missing something here? Is that why you weren't very shocked when you found out your father was dead? Because you'd already sensed that he was a goner somehow?
Maybe.
Please, Sarge, what was it you saw on the night of your father's murder?
I saw...
What's happening? I don't like where this is going.
No more, please! Help!
Bro, stole Widget!
I've confiscated your little toy. The battlefield has no place for unauthorized equipment. Widget! Apollo, I can't continue the session without him.
Calm yourself this instant, witness! I hereby order you to submit to your therapy session! What in the blazes?
What? Look at me, I'm judge, jury, and executioner now.
Judge! Jury! Executioner!
I hereby convene a military tribunal.
Whoa. This has gone way too far.
Bailiff! Arrest that drone this instant!
Stop resisting! You know, guns quietly, I'll...
Give Widget back right now!
The fuck is happening right now? I would have loved to have seen that.
Ooh, finally got him back.
Nice work.
This witness truly is a handful.
2, 3, 4.
Miss Sykes, what's the witness's current psychological state?
Let's see. He's emotionally all over the map.
So is that a control emotions or in control of him, huh? Does that mean we can calm him down if we can figure out the root cause?
Yep. So let's see what we can find out. Sarge, can you hear me?
Is that you, Corpse Woman Sykes?
I'm here. Now, I want you to take a few deep breaths and just try to relax. Try it with me. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. In. Out. In. Out. And now, let your emotions take you where they will. Go on, just let it all out. All forces attack!
It's the least relaxing breathing exercise I've ever seen. Ugh.
Whap, whap, whap.
Wait, what? Dax was still hanging around after he got kicked out when I heard more fighting and I got worried about Papa. Oh.
Hey!
Oh my god. The sneezies are back. So I left my room, but suddenly, I got dizzy and passed out. I remember a flame lighting up the room. Papa grinning in delight.
Got it!
The flames? The flames of despair like Sonic 06? That's it! Sarge! You were overcome with shock and fear when you saw those flames, weren't you? Was I? Yes, just 6 months ago. You and your mother were caught up in an arsonist's blaze. So it's no wonder you would be extremely scared of fire. Yeah, that does make sense. Maybe, just maybe, your subconscious fear of fire was what caused you to withdraw from the world? What do you mean, Corpsewoman Sykes? In the outside world, you were bound to come across all sorts of fire. Candles, cigarettes, hell, even a grill at a diner. Even if it's not that often, just the idea that you might see them grew bigger and bigger until you couldn't shut it out. I think you might be onto something. Candles, cigarettes, just thinking about them sends a chill down my spine. Wow, the things I take for granted. Now I see. I was afraid of the fire. Strange, I didn't even realize it myself. About that fire, Sarge, can you tell me what it was burning? Stay calm and maybe something will come to you. Oh, Oh! I'm starting to remember! It was... Yo, Mama! It was that relic! That relic Papa was studying. Oh. It was on fire. So he figured it out, huh? It's still kind of fuzzy, but yeah, the orb was burning right in front of me. Right in front of Papa. And there in the flames was... Mama? Yeah, now I remember. I saw Mama appear amid the dancing flames! Oh yeah, that makes sense. Oh, spirit channeling stuff. Ooh. That goes both ways, doesn't it? Wait, what? Her soul. Her stinky little spirit. What's going on here? Maybe it's a memory from the fire that killed his mother? He might be confusing it with what really happened when his father died. So let me guess. More therapy? Yep. But this time, it seems there's an inconsistency in his statements. I think we should be able to prove it with some evidence at hand. Hope this inconsistency is the key. Proving that the relic really is the Founder's orb. Well, now he's got the relic in his hands, but the relic was already gone.
Objection!
He hid the relic. Don't blame yourself, Sarge. After all, even if you hadn't passed out, the outcome would have been the same. What do you mean? I'm talking about the time of death. Your father wasn't killed right after you left your room. What? Explain yourself at once, Private Justice! You said you saw your father burning the orb, right? But that night, he went out to hide it in a cave. So what you saw, Sarge, was something that happened before your father left to hide the orb. Ah. So you see, you didn't pass out right before he was killed. You passed out right before he left for the cave to hide the orb in the ruins. So even if I hadn't passed out... That's right. The outcome would have been exactly the same. That's because your father, Dr. Buff, was killed after he returned from the ruins. And therefore, Sarge, there's no need for you to blame yourself. Oh, I see. Private Justice, can you really say I bear no blame in this? Why do you ask? Because the truth is, if I hadn't engaged in my siege defense, Papa would still be alive. Sarge. Papa wished nothing more than for me to live a happy, healthy life. That's why he quit his job and moved us out, away from the big city. Even then, I didn't have the courage to set foot out into the outside world. And then in the end, I failed to make Papa's wish come true. Sarge? Oh. If you want to make your father's wish come true, if that's what you really want, then who's to say it's too late? Why don't you take the first step right now? My first step? That's right. You can cast off all of your regret. You can stop standing still and start moving forward. You have the power within you. I know from experience. I know what it's like to feel like you do. But only you can decide to take that first step. If you don't change your tactics now, Sarge, the victory you seek in the war you're waging will always lie beyond your grasp. I think I understand now. I've made up my mind. As of this moment, I will suspend my siege defense indefinitely. Wait, he's also crippled too? Oh, that's so sad. It's a girl? The whole time? Oh my god, another twist. Huh? Sergeant Buff, reporting for duty. What? I thought you were a guy. You're definitely not the gruff drill sergeant I envisioned. Well, my mama was in the Russian army. I was just as shocked, but it certainly explained a few things when I found out too. May I introduce you to Miss Army Buff, age 12. She's adorable. She looks like a Pokemon protagonist. No way. Careful, soldier. Don't forget I could blow you away at a moment's notice. Oh, she's just too cute. So, have you always been in a wheelchair, Sarge? Negative. Only since I was injured. In the fire.
Your voice sounds awfully different from before.
My drone features voice modulation.
Thanks for that. That really helps with the change in voices we had to pull.
It's just one of the Army's many technological marvels.
Well, you fooled me. I thought some 20-something military fanatic was at the controls.
It's all the same to you, troops. I'd like to continue my testimony. I just remembered something, and it's as crisp and clear as trumpet at roll call.
What did you remember?
It wasn't my mother who appeared in the burning orb. It was some lady Papa had shown me a picture of a long time ago. He said it was the Holy Mother, the founder of Curanism. She appeared right there, right in the burning orb.
Huh? What did you just say? You just blew my whole case up, you stupid kid! What the fuck? Come on. Well, Mr. Wright. The Holy Mother of Curanism was in the burning orb? What does that even mean? I have a bad feeling about this. Could it be? Could this explain what Sarge means by the Holy Mother appearing in the burning orb?
Take that!
Dr. Buff's research notes? What do they have to do with this?
Look at this. The burning orb, the appearance of the founder. This part points to both.
Take that!
There's a legend about the orb. I didn't even have to move the icon. The cursor was directly on where we needed it immediately. There's a legend about the orb involving a mysterious riddle, and this song in turn is said to contain the key to solving it. If the legend is true, then I believe the answer lies in part of the song. Offer thy prayers as fervent as fire, only then shall the Holy Mother return. Well, anyone see where I'm going with this? Prayers as fervent as fire. Ah! You're supposed to set the orb on fire? The whole stanza seems to suggest the founder will appear if the orb's set on fire. Wait, so the doctor, he... Yes, Athena. This is decisive evidence! Hooray! He had solved the ancient riddle of the Founder's Orb.
Oh my!
Yippee! Papa was a great archaeologist, so I believe in him. And I want to believe he achieved his long-time dream of solving the riddle before he died.
Well, we won't know for sure until we try it for ourselves.
Yeah, do it, Private Justice, please. I want to see what Papa was searching for with my own eyes.
Objection!
The plaintiff must object to this.
Objection!
The plaintiff will stand down and be quiet.
Objection!
You don't have the right to set the precious relic like that on fire.
Objection!
Oh, but I do. All I needed was Sarge's permission. Since we still don't know if this treasure is the Founder's Orb or the Crystal of Amy Faye, any ownership rights the Doctor had now belongs to his daughter. Therefore, you have absolutely no right to stop us.
Very well, Mr. Justice. I never thought I'd be saying this, but you may burn the evidence.
All right, here we go. Sorry, right? I mean, come on, at this point. Look!
Apollo, the inside of the orb! It's melting!
There's something in there. Oh, look, her face is there. Dirk, isn't she?
Her garb leaves no room for doubt. It's the Founder herself. Face and all. I don't understand. The greatest of taboos in Curanism is the depiction of the Founder's face. Yet here it is, hidden within the orb.
sorry, Mr. Wright, but as you can see, the issue is crystal clear. This figure is the Holy Mother, founder of Curanism. And based on that, this must be none other than the Founder's Orb.
Objection!
Be that as it may, Mr. Arbol still may have killed the Doctor. If so, it would render the orb transfer agreement null and void. Don't play dumb, Mr. Wright. The truth of the matter has already been proven. Dr. Buff wasn't killed right after Sarge saw Mr. Arbol. It happened after the Doctor came back from hiding the orb. And you've no proof that Mr. Arbol was still around at that time. Your claim that the Defiant Dragons were behind the crime doesn't hold water. And that means the orb transfer agreement is still perfectly valid. Admit it, Mr. Wright. I just burned your whole case to the ground. Oof. No! Ah! God, I'm so impressed. I won? Did I actually won?
Mr. Wright, would you care to respond?
Respond? I didn't think so. Wait, did we just win? Did we actually beat the Turnabout Terror? Oh, you're amazing, Apollo. Don't just stand there, right? And do something. Well, I don't think there's any digging out of this hole. Mr. Titian Wimperson, I think it's time for your concession speech. I have proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that this is the Founder's Orb. The facts don't lie, but you obviously do. How's that for a campaign slogan? Why, you contemptuous peasant!
I think this is a good time to wrap up this trial. If both parties have no further objections, I will render my verdict.
No objections here, Your Honor. No. You can't do this! The crystal's mine! I'll lose the election if I lose that crystal! I'm sorry, but there's really nothing more I can do. You haven't forgotten about our little chat, have you? Oh, is this gonna be the reason why he needs to win? Is he planning to do something nasty to Curian Village? Uh-oh. What's going on here?
Objection!
Your Honor, I object to the defense's last claim. What? I don't believe they've truly proven that the relic is indeed the Founder's Orb.
Objection!
Mr. Wright, I don't think even you could bluff your way out of this one. What possible argument could you have to claim this isn't the Founder's Orb?
About that.
Oh, of course! He can't possibly have hit on something. The defense's assertion is incomplete. And this is why. Their claim that this relic is the Founder's Orb is based on a legend. That legend claims the Founder will return when the riddle is solved at last. Right. And that's what happened. The Founder was revealed for all to see. But Mr. Justice, what about the rest of the legend? According to the legend, once the Founder returned, she would bestow spiritual power into the person who solved the riddle. You're kidding, right? Well, Mr. Justice, do you feel great spiritual power coursing through your veins? No. But receiving spiritual powers and stuff, it's all just mystic mumbo-jumbo, right? Maybe so, but you're the one basing your claim on said legend. What we saw here does not fully fulfill it, does it? No, but... Consequently, you cannot rightfully claim that this is the Founder's Orb.
That's a bunch of malarkey. What? I mean, it's beyond a shadow of a doubt. What possible reason for this?
What's gotten into him? Why is Mr. Wright doing this?
It would appear that Mr. Wright has lost a few of his marbles.
That couldn't be further from the truth, Your Honor.
In any case, I believe this is a good time for a recess. Both sides will have 20 minutes to prepare.
We're gonna have to, like, talk to him, maybe. That's a good idea, I think.
Oh, and Mr. Wright, you'd do well to wash up and find your missing marbles by then, too.
Well, I'm glad the judge at least knows his fucking bullshit. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's kind of fun being on the other end. And him just bluffing anyway. I'm guessing the reason Maya's not here is, some other reason, perhaps. Yeah, I thought he was gonna be happy, but no, there's a devilish deal here, that's why. There's a devious little thing occurring. Mr. Wright sure is acting funny. I mean, he's famous for going out on a limb, but that last assertion was just plain crazy. It's either a bluff or a Hail Mary. Either way, it doesn't make much sense. Maybe there's something we're missing here. Although he seemed perfectly normal when we spoke earlier. Apollo, I've got a bad feeling about this. I'm gonna go check up on him. What's going on with you, Mr. Wright? Hey, Private Justice? Oh, Sarge. I forgot to mention something. On the night of Papa's murder, a strange thing happened. But why are you only telling me about it now? Well, I didn't say anything before because I thought Papa's death was an accident. But now that we know otherwise, I figured it might be important. Still more to this case. Oh, there's Sarge's room. So my assertion that she probably did not see our ball is like, you know... I guess he could have walked on the other side of the house, and that must be what happened, because that wasn't at all, like, referenced. Must have been on the side of the house, just, you know, not really an objection. I left my room and lost consciousness I passed out right here. That's right above the coffee bar. But when I came to, someone was pushing my wheelchair. What? I was so scared. I beat a hasty retreat as fast as my wheels could take me. Do you know who it was? No, it was pitch black. Plus, I fled to my room so fast, I didn't even have a chance to turn on the lights. Maybe it was your father. No, he would have said something to me. Besides, I didn't know if it was him. So then, it could have been your father's real killer. My thoughts exactly. But you didn't report this to the police? It didn't even occur to me. It's okay. You're obviously still upset, so don't beat yourself up over it.
Apollo, this could be really important information. I think the act of pushing Sarge's wheelchair could be a big part of some bigger scheme. It's hard to see why else the killer would have done such a thing.
Guess I should take her statement down as evidence. Oh boy. Oh, welcome back, Athena. Uh-oh. Eh? What's with the long face? How'd it go with Mr. Wright? What should I... Athena? No, oops, sorry. Zone out there for a sec. The recess is almost over, so let's go. Maya got kidnapped again, didn't she? Maya's kidnapped again. Maybe Pearl's kidnapped. Somebody's kidnapped. Somebody's in danger. Wright's being forced to do this. Not again. Come on, Maya. Again.
Kidnapped again? I mean, come on.
What's that all about? Something bad's happening. I mean, you can tell Mr. Wright probably wouldn't care that much if he lost this one otherwise, if there's not something, you know, forcing him to do this. Well, well, well. Well, well, well. Here we are yet again. I think we're gonna end for today. It's getting a little late. So, tomorrow... Oh, I said we would do Monster Hunter tomorrow, but... Maybe we'll do Ace Attorney and something else. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Definitely Ace Attorney tomorrow. We're so close. We're right here, right at the end. And then we got one more case after this. So we'll definitely do Ace Attorney tomorrow. We'll probably do it first. But yeah, I think we'll leave it there for today. I think that's a good spot to leave off. It's a good little, yeah, Glover. Yeah, definitely. It's a good little cliffhanger, I think. And it's getting a bit late, of course, for me and for all the Americans. So we'll leave off and we'll be here earlier tomorrow for some more Ace Attorney. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Love you all. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for joining, everybody. Big Boss Laser. Thank you. Bye, everybody. See you tomorrow. Good night. Sleep tight. Don't let Phoenix Wright bite.